Hey everybody, Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here. I thought I'd do a little video. We are just now getting on the road to Canada. So thought I'd do a little video and kind of give you insight of what it's looking like. Right now we're just stopped at a gas station. So I thought I'd do a quick recording. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about the setup we have here and what I'm working on. My plan is for while we're gone is to try and do kind of a daily video log. Just little bits and pieces of the day here and there that I'll put together, and hopefully I can get it uploaded at the end of every day. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to stop this and turn this around so I can show you some things. Hold on. Mr. is out getting gas, but that's the command control center. The kitties, this are where they usually are for the entire trip. Anytime we're moving, they're kind of just hanging out here. They don't like the moving part, but they're not too bad with it. Once we get going, they're pretty copacetic. So that's that. This is my little control center here. Our dashboard, we have a little carpet on it that is very furry, so ignore that. So to begin with, I'm going to work on Indigo Lane. This is one that I've changed quite a bit of the colors on. Still the basic color scheme, but I just dropped something. I have everything on my lap. I kind of changed the house. It's a very gray day, so things are rather gray today. I changed the house because they had a DMC for the house color, which was kind of a mocha brown that I didn't like. So I think the roof might be the called for. Maybe. I think that's barn gray. Maybe. I think so. No, the barn gray is the outline. I forget what the roof is. That might be the called for. And then the color of the house itself is one of the Cottage Gardens. The Australian company, the Cottage Garden threads. I forget what it's called. I'll look that up. So anyways, I thought I would work on this because it's just going to be filling in for now, so fairly easy. And just doing the outline and doing the windows will be easy, not much counting to worry about. I think I'll be able to work on it in Maryland once we get up into Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania roads are notoriously crappy. So I have a knitting project here that I just dropped on the floor, so I'll have to pick that up. So let me see. That will be to start with, and if I can continue, I'll do that most of the day. But if the roads turn crappy in Pennsylvania, as I expect them to, hold on, see, there it is down on the floor, I will turn to knitting because knitting is easier on the road. And this is the cowl, the Laura Nelkin design that I was working on a while ago that I had to put aside when I was working on the Casapinka test knit. So I will turn back to this. This is a good one because it's little. It's not like there's going to be a lot of knitted stuff sitting on my lap. So I have a good chance of getting this done, I think, on this trip in between the stitching that I'll be doing. So our route today is going to be heading up around Baltimore on the Baltimore Beltway. Right now we are sitting in Crofton, like I said, at a gas station. We're going to head around Baltimore and head up 83 into Pennsylvania, head up north of Harrisburg and get on, I think it's Route 11 north of Harrisburg, and head up to the Pennsylvania-New York state line. Our stop tonight is just right about on the line, just a little bit before the state line. So I will be coming back at you later today and let you know how the trip went and let you see what I've worked on today. So I will check in later. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. We have made it to our first stop of this trip. We only have a couple stops, so it's not like that's a big deal. But we are halfway to Canada. We stopped at a campground in Tioga. I believe it's outside of Tioga, PA. Excuse me. Called Ives Run. It is a Army Corps of Engineer managed, run, maintained campground. This is the first time we've stayed at an Army Corps of Engineer one, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of experience it is. It's a beautiful campground. We are going to be taking a walk around it in a little bit, and when I do that, I'll be taking another video then to show you what the campground looks like. But we are here. Let me pan around. Well, I guess I need to turn the camera. So I'm going to turn the camera and show you the coach and show you what I was working on today. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I've turned the camera around. I'm going to show you the inside of the coach and kind of what we got going on here. As you can see, that particular cat is not the worse for wear. This cat is not the worse for wear. The driver Mike made it without too much swearing along the way.
Not too much.
There was one particular driver that pissed us off, but
he deserves some swearing.
And that little kitty is certainly none the worse for wear because we brought a box with us. So she is in her box. So this is the inside of the coach, all opened up. We have our TV and our fireplace and lots of storage, and back behind that we have the kitchen. I do have another video with a tour of the RV, so I'm not going to do another one here, but this is where we pretty much hang out. I'm sitting at a table up front here. The passenger seat is there, and I'm sitting in the captain's seat, as it were. So these swing around, and there's a little table that we can insert in the middle. So that's a nice another nice feature of this coach. So, like I said, it was a fairly uneventful trip. We hit some rain coming up through Pennsylvania, but it was a passing shower. So pretty much an uneventful drive. The roads weren't too bad once we got out of the Harrisburg area. So I was able to get a bit of stitching done. So this is Indigo Lane. You guys have seen this plenty of times before. I mentioned earlier that I changed the color of the house, and you can see it's a very cocoa, I think, color, and it is a DMC, and I decided with all of that stitching I wanted more variegation. So I chose one that is kind of a grayish, taupish brown, I guess. It is Country Garden, I think it's Cottage Garden Thread. They're an Australian brand. And this is Jack Frost, number 4. This is some threads I got for Christmas, a set of them. I got a couple sets of them when Stitchy Box had them for sale. I think they had them in one of their boxes, and then they also had some on their site. So I grabbed some of those. So, yeah, I'm really liking how that's looking as opposed to that kind of more cocoa color. Now the roof, I wasn't sure of the color of the roof before. It is Weeks Dye Works Pamlico. So it's kind of has lots of nice browns and grays in there. And then the outline of the house is Geno Arts Barn Gray. Now you can see the variegation in this kind of fades quite a bit, so that there are parts of the windows that kind of fade more into the background color. I'm okay with that. Oh, I shaded it a bit and you can see it better. I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. This is kind of going to have the look of a weathered old house, and that's cool. The windows, inside the windows, the pattern calls for 372. It's a mustard. I just decided to use what I already had in the one of the threads that's already in the lineup, and that is Sandcastle from Weeks Dye Works. It's this nice golden color, so it kind of gives the picture shows, and of course we know how pictures aren't necessarily the best, but the picture looks more like kind of a greenish gray, and I decided I wanted my windows to have kind of a golden glow to them. So I think that Sandcastle was looking good. So I got a good chunk of stitching done. Whenever we started to hit the rain, it did start to get a little bit too dark to stitch, so I did pull out my knitting. This is the Caramelized Cow pattern by Laura Nelkin, and I only got a few rows done of this before we pulled into the campground. So I finished off the section that is this fisherman's rib here, and I started the next section. This is called the quilting stitch. It's going to be the same as this down here where the beads are, So it's going to be a repeat of, boy, the sun's really coming in there now. It's going to be a repeat of this area in here. So we have kind of the back and forth between knits and purls, and then the next row we have this kind of stitch here that gathers up a bunch of other rows, and then every other one is a bead. So that is what I'll be working on probably some of the trip tomorrow. I'm you know, I can't go too long without knitting, so I was happy. My knitting was calling. Mike's laughing at me. My knitting was calling to me, so I was happy to kind of put the stitching away for a little while and pull out my knitting. So that's kind of where we are right now. We're going to eat some dinner, and then we're going to go take a walk before it gets dark, and I will be doing another video out there. So I will talk to you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.
Oh, look at the little duckies.
Oh. So we're out taking our walk. We are in a gorgeous area of, this is northern Pennsylvania. Like I said, Tioga is the little town near here. The campground is called Ivy Run, and it is a Corps of Engineer, Army Corps of Engineer, Ives Run.
Yeah, it's Ives Run.
Army Corps of Engineer maintained. The campground is actually that way where I'm pointing, so we had to come down the hill a little bit to the lake. Now these are like multiple lakes by the sounds of the name. Tioga Hammond something starts with the C-O-N, I don't know. But it's gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. We have fish jumping. We have ducks over there. I'm actually in a little shady spot because the sun is beginning to set back behind these bushes. So it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous area. And the lake goes on and on. I think there's a beach down that way somewhere. We kind of ended up in an odd spot, but that's okay. It's a gorgeous spot. So anyways, I will leave you with that. Talk to you later. Alright, and here we are in the campground itself. There are several different loops in this campground, and as you can see, it's a very full, very busy campground. It is a little bit chillier here than down in Maryland, and so a lot of people have their fires going, but we don't have smell-o-vision. We have cornhole games happening because that's what you do when you're camping. That's not what we do, but that's okay. It's a gorgeous campground, lots of trees, so lots of shade, which is something we really like when we're camping. Isn't that pretty? And there's our rig with the Jeep out in front. And when we get down there, we're going to see if there's any kitties in the window, because that's what our kitties like to do. Of course, we did bring a box this time, so.
Stiff competition.
They may be fighting over the box. I hope I'm not making you guys seasick with the jiggling with the walking. There's a campfire there. Oh, and there's a little kid on a bike. We used to have little kids like that on little tiny bikes like that. Is there a kitty in the window? Oh, there is. All right. We're going to go around to this side. Oh, there's two kitties in the window. You can't really see the other one too well. Whoops, I just did a little jog there when I went down. Look at the kitty in the window. Nina. There's Nina. Sasha, you can't really see because he's so dark. She is way too tired. She's had a rough day. Is Sasha still here? You can see his white ruff, and that's about it. There. Oh, Sasha. He's a pretty boy. Alright guys, that is all for today. We'll see you tomorrow.